So why did Jesus wait 4 days before raising Lazarus from the dead? You're going to want to lock in because this is good. So according to the Gospel of John, this is the 7th and final miracle that Jesus performs before going to the cross. Now, of course, those in the audience watching Lazarus be raised from the dead wouldn't know that Jesus was about to go to the cross next, but it's important to the story. So Mary and Martha, they send a note to Jesus and they're like, hey, Lazarus, the one you love, is sick. Why don't you come do something about it? Jesus sends a note back and says, Mary, Martha, and Lazarus, the ones I love, this sickness is not unto death. And then he waits 2 more days. And by the time he gets there, oh, hold on, little side note here. When Mary and Martha would have received that note from Jesus saying that the sickness was not unto death, Lazarus would have already been dead. So Jesus gets there and Mary and Martha are like, yo, what happened? Lazarus is already dead. Like, thought you loved us. What's going on? Because what he said and what they saw didn't match. But Jesus says, I'm glad that I wasn't here so that you would believe and for my glory. When what you see and what he says doesn't match, he's up to something for his glory. So then Lazarus has already been dead for 4 days. And why this is so important is because Jewish mysticism taught and believed at that time that the spirit would hover around the body for 3 days after death. But on the 4th day, decay would set in and the spirit would leave the body. So Lazarus has been dead 4 days. So everyone in the audience knows that the spirit is gone and he's too far gone. The situation's too far gone. But Jesus, first he weeps, showing us his humanity, showing us his compassion, showing us that he's with us in the pain and hurt. And then he says, Lazarus, get up. And Lazarus is resurrected from the dead. And to everybody in the audience, that would have been a miracle that was so mind-boggling to everything they believed. In fact, scholars say that this was kind of the nail that hammered it in for them to want the Pharisees to want to take Jesus to the cross and kill him, or basically to kill him, because this was a miracle that was just like, no, it's too powerful. It's too powerful. And all this right before he goes to the cross himself, demonstrating that he is able to do the impossible. Now, might I add that Jesus was raised on the 3rd day, not the 4th, because scripture prophesied that no decay would touch his body. So being raised on the 3rd day, that scripture was fulfilled, that no decay touched his body before he was resurrected. But isn't it crazy that the people in the audience that would have watched him raise Lazarus from the dead would then be there when he died and remembering him saying that he would be resurrected, and 3 days later he was resurrected. So I don't know what you're going through on this Easter, but I want to remind you that you serve a God who does the impossible and who resurrected, and that even when it looks like situations are too far gone, maybe you feel like it's been longer than 4 days in your life, he is able to do the impossible. That's how powerful resurrection is. Happy Resurrection Sunday, everybody.